say a couple of quick disclaimers before we get started with this video is that, number one, I am currently sick as a recording, which is why my voice sounds funny, and I apologize for that. Without further ado, let's get started with the actual video. These days, it seems like Apple will never die with being the world's most valuable company. However, there was a time that Apple almost went bankrupt. How, though? Let's get into it. In 1983, Apple was losing in the computing war to IBM despite the fact that Apple defined the personal computer with the Apple II. Consequently, Apple's board of directors decided that the then young CEO Steve Jobs needed supervision from an experienced businessman or businesswoman. This led to John Sculley from Pepsi becoming the third CEO of Apple, who famously led the Pepsi Challenge campaign in the 1970s. However, Sculley and Jobs clashed on management styles, which led to Jobs departing Apple in 1985 to found his own computer company Next. Back at Apple, Sculley harshly managed it despite a lack of knowledge in technology and expanded Apple's product line drastically. Because of his harsh work ethic, he left Apple in 1993. Michael Spindler followed Sculley until 1996 when Gil Amelio took over. The two CEOs expanded Apple's product line to a confusing mess, which led to Apple's product sales and market capital to drop drastically. On the other hand, Next was also failing because Steve Jobs focused so much on simplicity that he failed to grasp what the computer market wanted. In 1997, Apple acquired Next on the terms that Jobs returned as interim CEO. Steve Jobs later became the next full-time CEO of Apple, and in that process reduced Apple's product line to the famous four-box strategy, a professional-grade desktop being the Power Mac G3 at the time, a consumer-grade desktop being the all-new iMac, a professional-grade laptop then the PowerBook G3, and a consumer-grade laptop being the iBook G3 clamshell. Jobs famously stated that Apple was only 90 days away from bankruptcy. However, Apple's massive decline in the computer market led to the rise of Microsoft via Windows. A common myth among the tech community is that because Microsoft was being investigated for being a monopoly in 1997, they donated $150 million to Apple to save them. However, Microsoft's antitrust lawsuit had nothing to do with their relationship with Apple. It was instead regarding the bundling of Internet Explorer with Windows, which is harming the web browser competition. Furthermore, Microsoft had to pay $150 million back to Apple, not because Microsoft was trying to prove they were not anti-competitive, rather because Microsoft stole Apple's QuickTime code for Windows Media Player. Even though Apple has undoubtedly recovered from their nearing bankruptcy, the impact is still felt to this day on the computer market because most of the computer market still uses Windows because that's what they're used to since Apple's financial crisis. But as always, thank you all for watching this video. I'm the iTunes Fanboy, and peace out.